Hey guys, welcome to the channel and another video. Today I'm going to be watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre by Tobe Hooper. Hooper is a director with whom I'm somewhat familiar with since I have watched Poltergeist on the channel. Do check out that video since I really did enjoy it. I could see a lot of Spielberg's influence in Poltergeist since he produced it, but the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is completely Hooper. I know it's considered classic horror or slasher film, and it spawned an entire franchise of comic books, films, and video games. I've seen Leatherface parodied in many different places, and I am aware that his character was inspired by Ed Gein. I don't believe I know any of the actors starring in the film though. To be honest, I'm just excited to see one of Hooper's earliest films, especially to see how he stretched tiny budget to make a classic. But before we get into it, to help support the channel, I have a Patreon page for full-length reactions to over 40 movies, early access, and weekly polls for what to watch next. You'll need your own copy to watch along, of course. Please consider being a patron. Please subscribe to the channel. Do check out my other videos. Like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. With all that being said, let's get started. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Hooper. Let's go!
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths. In particular, Sally Hardesty and her invalid brother, Franklin. The events of that day were to lead to the discovery of one of the most bizarre crimes in the annals of American history, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, it starts with a narration, and we learn two things. The location and the entire film is set in one day. Oh man, I think we're seeing flashes of decomposing bodies. These props are very well made for the time. And the sound design is very interesting. No dialogue has been used yet. Very decent.
The remains of a badly decomposed body wired to a large monument.
Somebody's been digging the graves and making these things.
Evidence indicates the robberies have occurred.
The framing of the shot is very well done. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A dead armadillo? There's some young kids probably on a journey, and we know that there are grave who are posing these dead bodies, and somehow their stories will come together.
Undergoing questioning
Franklin!
this time.
Damn. Ouch.
My granddaddy's buried here. Could we find out if anything happened to him?
So they're here to visit one of their grandfather's grave.
Hitchhiker?
Should we pick him up?
Oh, yeah, man. Pick him up. He'll asphyxiate out there.
What does he look like?
First sign of trouble, picking up a hitchhiker.
How did you get stuck way out here?
I was at the slaughterhouse. The gun's no good.
I was in there once with my uncle.
No way. With a sledge.
Such a odd person. Something's off about him.
Hey,
Let me see him.
They don't send the heads away.
Took pictures. Why though? He's enjoying cutting into his own hand. Yeah, he's definitely mentally disturbed.
I have this knife.
Yeah, they're hippies. I don't think they believe in violence at all. With a very upbeat song playing in the background. It's very unnerving.
It's a nice picture. Hey, you can pay me now.
huh?
$2.
Hooper is spending a lot of time in this scene. That means it has to be very relevant to the plot. Is that gunpowder? Oh! I have a feeling we'll see him again. The dude on the wheelchair isn't the best actor in the world, I'm sorry. The rest are doing a very decent job.
Would you fill her up, please? I got no gas.
Oh no, okay.
You boys don't want to go mess around no old house? Those things is dangerous. You're liable to get hurt. Why don't you fellas stick around here a while?
It's almost like he's warning them not to go. So they're not getting any gas. The colors in the film chosen by Hooper seem to be a little washed out. I don't know whether that was on purpose or because of the budget. I am watching the high-def remastered version, and it's still pretty grainy. For an hour and a half film, it's almost been 30 minutes, and apart from the hitchhiker scene, there hasn't been too much horror, so I have to imagine the second half of the movie should be just non-stop Leatherface or something. Or is it one of the films where, you know, the antagonist doesn't show up till the last 10 minutes? Surely not, since it got so famous.
It's the Mark of Zorro. He's gonna get you.
Sir, why don't you wash it off?
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, you don't think that guy'd try and follow us, do you?
I got to stay here one summer when I was 8 years old, right after my grandmother died.
Oh, Franklin and this girl are siblings. It's not easy moving around in a wheelchair, especially out in nature. I'm sure this house is not how Franklin remembered it when they were younger. Is he a little jealous of them?
Come on, Franklin. It's gonna be a fun trip.
Okay, Franklin himself is a bit odd, acting like a child. Yeah, he's not the best actor, but I'm getting what he's trying to say though. It's a pile of bones. Okay, his name is Kirk. Ooh, they see another house.
Gasoline.
The lack of music and only diegetic sounds is making me very uncomfortable. It's probably just an engine, which means there's definitely somebody around in this house. The cinematography of the film for the budget is okay. That's a tooth. A human tooth. Pam. Her name's Pam, okay. I can see so much skin. It's Leatherface's house. Holy crap, Kirk is dead! Just like that! Oh no! And I think we got a small glimpse of Leatherface. I couldn't take a look at his face properly. Oh, that was a femur bone. These are human remains. What the fudge? Human bone furniture. Even the bones are very well made. A little too shiny, but not complaining at all. Holy crap. The prop work has been fantastic so far. The animal bones are very real. And I love how Hooper is taking the time to show us everything. She's freaking the heck out. Oh. Leatherface is huge. No, dude, no. And there's the chainsaw. And a bucket to collect the blood. What am I watching? He's wearing human face skin as his own, like Ed Gein. How horrible it must be for Sally trying to unhook herself and watching her boyfriend getting decapitated.
Listen, I think I'll walk down to the creek before it gets too dark. How do I get there, Frank?
You really didn't want me to come, did you?
Oh no, dude. Now he stumbles upon the house.
Okay, you guys. Kirk?
Pam's off the hook. Literally. She's in the freezer. And alive. That dude is dead. It's only Sally and Frank left out of the 5? Already? This Leatherface character is definitely mentally handicapped or disturbed, or he's not saying anything at all, and his movements themselves are barely coherent. Okay, the mask looks very unnerving and his teeth are sharpened.
They'll in a minute or so.
No, they won't, Franklin.
Sound like we ought to go into that gas station.
That's a good idea. Probably the first one by Franklin.
Flashlight. I'm gonna go look for him. You don't have to go.
I'm coming with you. No, push down.
They can barely see anything, and I like the fact that Hooper is showing us nothing. Just sounds, mostly.
Stop.
Franklin is dead! That jump scare really worked. So it's only Sally left. In a matter of, what, 20 minutes? We lost 4 out of the 5 main characters. Oh wow, okay. These shots are very well done. Stop screaming, you're attracting more noise. She's in Leatherface's house and she doesn't know.
Please.
That's another dead body. And another one. Again, the prop work here is very decent for the time. This is more of a slasher film than a horror film. It has a couple of horror elements and the jump scares, but it's mostly a slasher. It's been almost 5-7 minutes and she's still running away from him. She's at the gas station. I would say arm yourself immediately, but she's in shock. Yeah, Sally's performance in the film has been the best so far.
Now, you just cooperate, young lady, and we'll have no trouble.
He's one of them. And now I suspect the hitchhiker was one of them too. Yeah, they were human. That means Franklin was eating a human sausage.
I hope you're not too uncomfortable down there.
Yeah, he's a sadist.
Little coon shit.
It's the hitchhiker. I knew they were all related somehow.
I told you to stay away from that graveyard.
And he was the person who's messing around in the graveyard. Okay.
Told you never to leave your brother alone. You get in there and get that girl.
They're a family. Just called him his brother. Oh, okay. There's a human hand on the handrest.
Get away.
He's incoherent. Leatherface.
We'll fix you some supper in a few minutes, huh?
Yeah, these scenes are very disturbing. The use of these weird camera angles really help in setting the tone for what's going on inside Sally's head. That's a human lamp they made. Oh! He's alive! Just wearing the skin of another person. I thought he was decomposing. Holy crap! This is so disturbing, and especially for 1970s. People have seen films like The Exorcist, but I don't think they've seen anything like this before. If so, can you guys let me know in the comments? Slasher films that were made prior to the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Jeez. A lamp made from a face. It's almost like they're playing with their food. They're all cannibals, and they kill for meat and use the skin and bones as furniture and...
Anything you want.
I think Hooper is using her screams a little too much. It's justified, if you know what I mean. And she has very beautiful green eyes.
We're gonna let you have this one. Grandpa's the best. It won't hurt a bit.
The grandfather is too weak. The mask that the grandfather is wearing is very detailed. It's mighty impressive for 1970s. That might have hit her. and the gas station owner cheering them on. It's morning already and she jumped through another window. Oh my god. Okay, she has a chance of survival now. Run, Sally, run. And here comes Leatherface with his chainsaw. Oh, shoot. Oh, he's dead. That was a mannequin. But okay, I'll take it. Start driving. What are you doing? Not... What? Oh! That's a solid metal object. Oh. That was close. So Leatherface doesn't die. And this is the image from the poster in the background. And that's why there are sequels and stuff. And cut? Damn. That was a pretty good movie, considering the budget and the time period. Okay, so I took some time to collect my thoughts. First off, that was a surprisingly good film. I'm guessing it had to be very controversial for the time of its release due to its very graphic nature. Hooper's efforts to present us with an extremely unsettling slasher experience really paid off. His strengths included a surprisingly well-written but simple script, the very convincing props, and the excellent control he had over his camera framing, considering it was one of his earliest films. Weaknesses for me were the acting by Franklin's actor, although the actress playing Sally was excellent. Let's start with the writing and directing by Tobe Hooper. He spends the entire first act introducing us to the four main characters and the locations where they were at. In the beginning, a lot of exposition was given to the audience, in addition to setting up a very unsettling atmosphere by showing us the gravedigger's work and the hitchhiker's erratic behavior. Halfway through the second act, when the actors reach their intended destination, the action starts immediately. The curiosity of Kirk and Pam get the better of them and are quickly killed by Leatherface. The way Pam was on a hook was particularly disturbing, and that entire sequence was great to watch. There was a lot of psychological horror too, just in thinking how Pam died at the end alone and in a freezer. Jerry, Sally's boyfriend, also gets killed by a hammer when he goes to investigate the situation, soon followed by Franklin when he and Sally do the same, leaving Sally alone with Leatherface chasing him. She's quickly caught and tortured by the whole group, including the gas station owner, the hitchhiker, and the seemingly dead grandpa, and Leatherface himself, who are all revealed to be related. These scenes were very hard to watch, but even harder to listen to, as Sally screams continuously for the last 15 or 20 minutes of the film. The disturbing laugh and the overall atmosphere inside Leatherface's house was really messed up, and I can totally see the impact it might have had on a 1974 audience, who were probably horrified. It's 2020, and I have seen films like Saw, The Human Centipede, and Hostel, so the imagery wasn't as disturbing for me. The ideas presented to us by Hooper definitely were, though. By the end, Sally does make her escape with the help of a couple of truck drivers, and I loved how Hooper intentionally chose not to kill Leatherface off, which explains the many sequels. Overall, very good writing and directing. The cinematography was pretty standard considering the budget, but the camera framing was much better, with Hooper keeping a lot of close-up shots of the actors' faces, especially the faces of Leatherface's family, who had the most unsettling laugh, which I mentioned before. The practical effects and the prop design were a highlight for me. Again, considering the budget, the film had excellent makeup of his characters. The props used in the film were top-notch too, especially the corpses, bones, and the face of Leatherface and his grandpa. Ugh. The set design of Leatherface's house was also great too, with a lot of detail and debris. It really reflected the house of a bunch of mentally disturbed people. Marilyn Burns' performance as Sally was just great. Apart from her continuous screaming for the last 20 minutes, which was disturbing and horrible to watch, horrible to hear, she was very convincing as the final victim, potential victim of the group. Paul Parthian's, please correct me if I'm wrong, performance as Franklin was considerably weaker than his sister, in my opinion. I think his character was childlike, and he was throwing temper tantrums very frequently. I don't know whether that was an intentional choice by Hooper or not, but in my opinion, it did not work very well in the film. Gunnar Hansen was very good as the chainsaw-wielding killer Leatherface. His character was very intimidating and provided a decent number of jump scares for the audience, which Hooper did very well. The fact that he was barely coherent throughout the entire runtime really added to the character's mental illness. Like I said before, the choice of keeping him alive at the end was genius because it leaves the audience without any real resolution, and they can assume that he will return to killing again. The only criticism I have of this film was the weak performance by Franklin's actor and character. Overall, I can see why this film is still considered one of the best slasher films in history. Once the action started, it was relentless till the last frame. I don't know whether I'll be rewatching this film anytime soon, though I highly recommend it for a mature audience. I know there is an entire universe of media related to this film. Are the sequels or remakes any good? If so, which ones? Do let me know in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching. Consider being a patron, subscribe to the channel, like if you liked this video, dislike it if you didn't. I will see you in the next one.